Dating apps. Have you been trying dating apps for a long time and you've realized that you just don't want to do it anymore? I feel the same way. I have recently decided I am not going to be using dating apps anymore. And at the end of this video, I'll let you know what I'm going to be doing instead as a different approach. As someone who's tried many different dating apps throughout the years, even though I've never really been a huge fan, I think it's safe to say that at this point, I am completely done. And honestly, this is not a video to bash the apps. I do know people who have had really good success on dating apps. And so I do think depending on your style and what you're looking for, it might be the right thing for you. It's just, I found not exactly the right thing for me. This video is really just to share my personal experience and not to dissuade you from using dating apps if you feel like that's what's best for you. And remember, you are the only one who truly knows what is best for you. Obviously, we know dating is nothing like it used to be back in the day. Our parents and grandparents did not have the option of using the internet to try to find people to go out with on a date. And whether or not you think it's easier now or it's harder now, the fact is that it's just very different. And while I do feel like it is a privilege to have this ability, it can also make it a lot more complicated. Personally, I'm a big fan of having systems and guidelines and a roadmap to follow. I tend to operate the best when I have a really clear sense of direction. Now, with that said, I didn't always have that. I used to have no idea what I was looking for, so it was like taking a bunch of spaghetti and throwing it at the wall and just seeing what stuck. And I feel like a lot of people operate this way on the apps. If you think about the way that a lot of them are structured, you're being presented with these pictures and you're swiping left and you're swiping right. It's putting a lot of emphasis on the physicality of dating, which I think is really the first issue. Yes, of course, we obviously want to date someone that we're attracted to, but I do feel like the whole swiping thing just makes it a lot less humanizing. Even though this person will likely never know which way you swiped on them, we don't think so much about the fact that this is a real human being who is there because they are seeking connection. They want to feel seen and appreciated just like we do. I know it seems like I might be getting a little too deep on this, but I just feel like the gamification of dating is just a problem. And honestly, it's not like I've been on hundreds of dates with people from dating apps. There have been a few, and I have formed relationships with people that I've met on dating apps. One of them was really great. One of them was not so great. Actually, it was a complete nightmare. You can watch my other video about the time that I dated someone who I thought was a narcissist. That is someone that I met on a dating app. But anyway, I do understand that there are good quality people on dating apps. I just don't really like the structure of it, or really what it's become. So recently I thought, now that I'm more solid in who I am and what I'm looking for, I want to be a little bit more intentional when it comes to using dating apps. So I opted for a Christian dating app. As I mentioned before, I'm really growing in my spiritual journey, my faith journey, and I'm really focused on living a Christ-centered life. And when I look at 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 14, it says, "Do not be unequally yoked with non-believers." So then I know, as a believer, as a born-again Christian who is actively pursuing a biblically minded lifestyle, the person for me will also be a believer. I thought, let's try a Christian dating app where there are other people who share my values. And well, here's what I found. Not all Christians are on the same spot on the spectrum, meaning that everybody's faith journey looks a little bit different. So some people may be in one place and other people are in another place, and those can vary greatly. And this is not to pass any judgment or me saying that I think I'm a better Christian than somebody else. But what I do know is that although we all hear the same message, we're not necessarily all following the method, if that makes sense. Like I said, there is a large spectrum, and it's very hard to discern where somebody is at in their faith journey on an app. It's not totally impossible if you want to go on a bunch of dates with different people and try to figure that out yourself. You can totally do that. I just don't really want to spend all that time trying to figure out where somebody is at. I will say, though, that I did try to be open-minded about it, and I will continue to be open-minded about this subject of dating and how it can be approached. But right now, I'm just not into it anymore. I'm not into the app thing. If you've been trying dating apps for a while, I want to know your experience. So share it in the comments. Have you had good luck? Have you had bad luck? Has it been just meh? So what is my new approach? I'm going to continue to get involved in things that interest me and focus on areas of growth where there may be other people who are also looking to grow in those areas. Now you may think, wow, well, that could take a really long time. It might, but I am okay with that. Now, I am not a dating expert by any means, but there are two things that I definitely do not want to do on this journey. And if I'm going to give you any piece of advice in this video, it would be this, and that is do not rush and do not settle. I can't imagine there are many things worse than waking up next to someone after being with them for decades and realizing that you just can't stand them. And while that sounds like a nightmare, unfortunately, that's a situation that many people find themselves in, and it's so incredibly sad. If you've been in this game for a while and you feel like you're just tired of waiting for that person to show up, just remember that the pain of waiting is far less in comparison to the pain of regret. I know it can be difficult as we're getting older and we're seeing everybody around us who seems like they have it all together because they're married and they have families and all that stuff. Everybody is on a different journey. You do not need to catch up to anybody. You are running your own race. And really, you don't even need to be running. You can just walk. And I truly think the way to release any anxiety that you may have in this area is just to be secure in yourself and who you are and know that you're worthy and know that you're loved by God. And that truly is enough. So that's where I'm at right now on the dating app situation. Again, let me know in the comments, what's your experience? Make sure you like this video and subscribe for more videos just like this one.